Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that can be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And it is absolutely freezing here in Melbourne. I know most of the world is going through a heat wave right now, apparently, but oh my lord, is it cold here. Today I'm doing a puzzle called Quickset by Riffclown. And whenever I get a Riffclown puzzle, it kind of jumps to the top of the queue. So, because I love Riffclown and I love Riffclown's puzzles. So I had to have a look at this one. So this is a duality puzzle using the sum line and German whispers constraints, where each of the line contributes or is both of those constraints together. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one works. What else do I have to call out? Nothing really. I'm going to just get straight into the puzzle and see what I can find. So let's have a look at the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have the lines are sum lines, which means that the box board is split the lines into sections, and the digits on those sections must sum to the same value. Different lines may have different totals. So for example, this line is split into sections by the thicker lines. So this would be one section on the line, this would be a different section on the line, and this would be a different section on the line. And the digits in those sections must all sum to the same total. So the sum of those two digits is the same as the sum of those two digits, which is the same as the sum of that digit. That's what we know. And then we've got German whispers. So adjacent digits on a green line, these lines are also the green lines. You can kind of see a green border around it, but adjacent digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So, the final rule is all lines in this puzzle conform to both rule sets. But, so these digits must have a difference of at least 5, as must those, as must those. They're the rules of the puzzle. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, I did want to call out as quickly as also that apparently this is an exclusive puzzle for my channel. So this is not going to get published anywhere else. And Riffclown said he sent it to me so I could have it as an exclusive. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Riffclown. Really do appreciate it. So, I think I want to look at this line first, because there's a couple of things about German whisper lines that we know, and the sum line is then going to interact with that. So we can never put a 5 onto a German whisper line, because if I was to put a 5 even here, what could we put next to it? Because of the 5 difference, we'd have to either add 5 or more or subtract 5 or more. So if I was to add 5 or more to a 5, I'd be at 10 or higher. And if I was to subtract 5 or more, I'd be at 0 or lower. So you can never put, and those aren't Sudoku digits. So you can never put 5 on a German whisper line. So none of these lines can ever have a 5 on it. But because of that, a digit is either going to exist in a state of below 5 or above 5, which on a German whisper puzzle we call high or low. Those definitions can vary depending on the constraints in a puzzle, but in a German whisper puzzle, low is 1, 2, 3, 4, and high is 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, you can never put 2 of the same type next to each other, because if you put 2 low next to each other, the maximum difference is 1 to 4, which is 3. Similarly, you can never put 2 high next to each other. So, because again, the maximum difference between 6 and 9 is 3. So wherever you put a low, you have to have a high next to it. And wherever you put a high, you have to put a low next to it. So as you go across the line, if this is low, this is high, this is low, this is high, this is low, because you must always have the different thing next to it. So you're alternating across the line. So we know that these digits are all one type of digit and these digits are all a different type, because we're always going to alternate. But if this was a low digit, this is the sum of those two digits, and this is definitely a high and a low. So this can't be a low digit, because once you sum a high and a low digit, you can't end up at a low digit, because the minimum would be 6 and 1, and this couldn't be a 1, 2, 3, 4 and sum to at least 7. So we know in this case, purple is high. I could just go 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can actually take it further than that. I'm actually going to get rid of the coloring because first of all, this has to be at least 6, 1. So this can't be a 6 for multiple reasons. Now, so these have to sum to no more than 9. So if this is a 4, these would both be 9, and this would sum to 13. So this can't be a 4. I don't think this could even be a 3, because 3, the minimum that this could be with a 5 difference is 8. So 3, 8 would mean that the sum is 11. So this can't even be a 3. And I think the same is true here. If this is a 4, this would be a 9, the sum would be 13. 3, 8 is 11. So this isn't 3 or 4. These are 1 and 2. Now, these can never be 9, because if they were 9, then it'd be 9 plus something equaling something as maximum of 9. But I think they can be 6, 7, or 8. And I'm not sure how to take that any further, but we've definitely got this going on. Because I could go 6, 1, 6, 1, 7, I think. I'm not sure why I couldn't. So maybe now I want to investigate this line, because I know every second digit along this line is the same high-low. So that's one version of high-low, and this is the different version of high-low. Now, can I determine which one is which? Possibly using this box, because if these were both high, the minimum they could be would be 6 and 7, and this would have to be, say, a 1. So these would sum to 13. But the maximum these could be would be 9 and 4, which does get me there. That does get me to 13. Ah, no, I couldn't. These can't be high, because the minimum they could be would be 6, 7, which is 13, with a 1 in the middle. So if these are high, this is the absolute minimum they could be. But then these digits, actually all of these would need to sum to 13. And the only way to do 13 with a low digit is 4 plus 9. And these would be 4, 9, but these would also be 4, 9. It just doesn't work, because the highest digit, I can't use 3, 10. So these cannot be high digits. So purple, let's select purple. Purple becomes blue and low, and green becomes yellow and high. So that is true. Whoops, didn't want to delete those. I wanted to delete the pencil marks. So these are all 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pencil mark them in and then remove some options. There's no 4s in any of those. And this is 7, 8, 9. I'm trying to see how we're going here. 7, 8, 9, 6. This can't be a 6, because if this is a 6, the only digit 5 away from 6 is 1, and both of those would have to be a 1. This is 7, 8, 9 for the same reason. This is 7, 8, 9 for the same reason. This one could be a 6, I think. The minimum these could sum to is 10, however, with 1, 2, 7. So I'm looking for a minimum of 10. So this is going to be more restrictive, but let's put the 7, 8, 9 in, because the minimum I could do here is 7, 1, 2. Now, I can't do, so I could never put a 7 here, because if I put a 7 here, the maximum this could be would be 1, 2, and the maximum would be 2, because it's 5 away. 3 and 7 are only 4 apart. So 7, 2 means that the maximum this could sum to would be 9. But here, that would mean this would have to be 7, 1, 1, and that doesn't work. So I can never put a 7 here. This is the same. This would be 7, this would be 1, 2, maximum sum 9. If this is 6, this would be a 1, and the maximum sum would be 7. If this is a 7, this would be a 1 or a 2. The sum doesn't get me there. This one is the same. This can't be 7. It's exactly the same. This one can't be 7. It'd be maximum 9. And this one can't be 7. The maximum would be 9. That's cool. So these are all 8s and 9s. If this is a 9... So hang on, I could never put a 4 here, because 4, 9 is 13, and I can't get these as high as 13. So there's no 4 in those. 3, 9 is already 12, which is the maximum these could be, and then I have to add another digit. I can't add 3 to any of these. These are 1 and 2. So I'm at 3. If it was 3 plus 9, I could go 9, 3 maybe? But this sums to 10, 11, or 12. So all of these pairs sum to 10, 11, or 12. Maybe I do want to keep the colouring on these so I can use it in case it comes relevant. So these are all 10, 11, or 12. Okay, is it this? Because this is the colouring on this line. So, ooh, this is quite restricted, isn't it? Because if these were high, the minimum they could be would be 6, 8. I've got 2 high and a low equaling 2 low and a high. This has to be really restricted. So if I make this the 2 lowest high digits, I'm ignoring this 7, I'm just doing casing on this. I could do 6, 7, 1. So the minimum that this could sum to is 13. But the 2 highest digits, 3, 4 with a 9 in the middle, I've got some freedom. But if these were high, they'd be 6, 8 with a 1, which, because I couldn't use a 7, 6, 8 with a 1 is the minimum they could be. And it'd be 6 there with 8 there. And these would sum to 15. And the lowest here would be 3, 4 with a 9 in the middle, which sums to 16. But I could do a 3 there. So this does work. So this sum is 15 or 16, but I can't see how to break that open yet because I could be able to reverse that. So I don't think I need to get something else about these. If this is 4, this is 9, and this sums to 13. And if this is, no, these can't sum to 13. If this is 4, this is 9, this sums to 13, but I can't get any of these higher than 12. So this isn't a 4, this is a 1, 2, 3. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple. This is this is low. So I've got all the low digits in this row. This is a high digit because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. This is a high digit. This isn't an 8 because it sees 8, 9 here. So the maximum here is 9. Oh, we knew that. I could still go 7, 2. If this is 6, both of those are 1. This is a 7, and that... This can't be an 8, can it? 8, 1, 7, 2 actually does work. If this is a 4, this is a 9, and that's 13, and that breaks... It breaks these. This can't be a 4. Oh, 1, 2. This is 3. Could that be a 4? Maybe that's the thing. If this is a 4, this is a 9, and this is an 8, and these sum to 11. And all of these would have to sum to 11. This can never be 1 now, because the minimum sum here is 3 plus 8, which is 11. None of these can be 1. Because if I put a 1 to get to 11, which is the minimum here, I need a 10. So none of the ones in the pairs can be 1 anymore. So this is a 1. This is really cool. Can that be a 4? This would be a 9, this would be an 8, and all of these would sum to 11. They have to sum to 11, don't they? Because if I made this sum to... Yeah, because one of these has to be 8, 3, and the other one has to be 9, 2, because these have to be the same sum. These sum to 11, because what's the sum of those 4 digits? 17 plus 5. 17 plus 5 is 22. 22 divided by 2 is 11. These must sum to 11. So it's 3 plus 8. These all sum to 11. So this sums to 11. So that's 3 plus 8, which means this is 9, 2, which means this is 3, 8. The 2 looks out, meaning this is 1, 2. The 8 makes this 9, 2. So this is 3, 8, 9, 2. Beautiful. I can get rid of... Do I get rid of the colouring now? It's tempting. It's really tempting. I might hold on to it for a little. This isn't an 8. So This can't be a 9 because that would have to be an 8. So this isn't a 9. Oh, also because there's a 9 in the box. Okay. I think it's this line. This can't be 1, 2, 3. Could that be a 4? No. No. This is a high digit. This is a high digit. It can't be 1. It can't be 2. It can't be 3. And if it was a 4, both of those would be 9. And that's broken for multiple reasons. So green becomes high. And purple becomes low. Beautiful. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can't be 4 because both of those would need to be 9. Can't even be 3. And these are from 6, 7, 9. This one can't be a 9. It couldn't be an 8. This one, I don't know. But I'll get there. This is from 6, 8, or 9. This is a 6 because of that 7. So this is a 6 because it sees 7, 8, and 9, which means this is a 1. This is a 7, 9. So the sum is 14 or 16. 14 or 16. There's no 2 there. There's no 3 there. 4, 4, 9, 1 would get me there, wouldn't it? Although that'd be a 9 then. So if this is 6, 1, 9, if this is 4, this is 6, 1, 9, which is 16. With 4, 9, that'd have to be 3, wouldn't it? If this is 4, both of those are 9. So that would have to be a 3, and it can't be because of that 3. That is not a 4. Is that really the way I'm supposed to solve this puzzle? I mean, it's possible. The 2 is looking at making this a 1, so these are the same digit now. I think I am going to get rid of the existing colouring, because what I want to do is I want to mark those as the same digit, which has to go in one of those two. Okay. Okay. This is a 2. 2 can't go in any of those because of that 2. 2 can't go in any of those. That's a 1 and 2 sees that. That's a 2, taking 2 out of there. 4, 9 is 13. If this is 4, 9, these sum to 13. This would be 14, which would be 6, 1, 7. Oh, that could work. I've got to put a 4 in here somewhere. I've got to put a 5. 4, 5, 7, 9 goes. Well, 9 is in one of those. Okay, let's try and do some more Sudoku. 8 is down here. 1, no. 2 is in one of those two. Huh. I think it is this. Well, this can't be a 6, because if this is a 6, both of those are 1. Right. Well, if this is 1, 3, these sum to 4. If this is a 1, this becomes a 3. These sum to 4. And that may not be enough, because 4 plus 8 is 12, and the minimum here is 14. And 4 plus 9 is 13, but the minimum here is 14. This is not a 1. This is a 4, which means this is a 9. So we've got, that is really clever. So these are 13, this is 7. So if this was 13 plus 3, that'd be 16, that would be a 9. If this is 13 plus 1, that'd be 12. Sorry, if this is 13 plus 1, that'd be 14, and that'd be a 7. This still works either way. Am I wrong about that? 9 is in one of those two, which puts 9 here, which puts 9 here. By Sudoku, there's the 9s all over the place. 8 is not, oh, this is an 8. 8 can't be in any of those, and 8 can't be in any of those. That's an 8, which by Sudoku makes that a 2. Ah, this isn't a 9. That 9 did it. That is a 9. So these sum to 15. And we've got... No, I'm broken. 7 plus 9 is 16. I've got 13. I need another 3. That's that. Why was I so broken about that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 go into those. There's no 4 there. There's no 7 there. Okay, what about this? 1, 5, 6. I'm actually not sure about that at all. This column? 4, 5, 7? Well, that one's not 4. Huh. This row? Where's 6 in this row? That 6 is preventing 6 from being in any of those. That 6 is preventing those, and this is a 2, 9. That's a 6 taking 6 out of there. These are 4, 5, 7. So this is 4 or 7 only because of the 5 looking down. But that's, again, not doing too much. Two in this box. That no, I've got a 2 in this box. That's not a good question. 3 and 3 puts 3 in one of those two. This is correct, isn't it? 7, 16, 16. That's correct. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So it's at this, the 6 or the 7 goes into those. One of those two. But 6, 1, 6, 1 does work for making that a 7, I think. Would make that a 7, which works for this being 6, 1, 6, 1. 7, 7 would make that 5, because 7 would be in one of those two. 8 is in one of those. Ah, no, 8 isn't there. 8 is there because of the 2 8s looking up and the 8 looking in. That's an 8. So that puts 8 here, which puts 8. Ah, this is 8 because 8, 8, 8, 8 looking into the box makes this 8, which makes these 7, which makes that 5, which makes that 4. 4. Do as I say, not do as I do. So these are now 6 and 7. And the 6 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 6. Great. These are 3 and 6. The 7 looks down saying that's not the 7, so that is the 7 because that's a 4-5 pair. This is a triple in this row because that's a 3-6 pair. So 2, 4, 9. There's no 4 there. There's no 2 or 9 there. That's the 4. Because of the 2, 9 looking up. The 4 and the 5 look down, making that the 7, which looks across, making that the 4 and that the 5. This is a triple now. 1, 2, 7. The 2 comes out of there. The 1 comes out of there. 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 7. So 2 and 7... Sorry, no, I've got 2. 1 and 7 have to be in here. But 7, 7, 7, that's the 7. And now 1 is in one of those two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is only 4 or 5. Ah, the 6 takes 6 out of there. And this is now a 1, 4, 5 triple to complete the box. But that can't be a 4. So that's a 1, 5. That's a 4. And this is a 1, 5 pair. So these are 1, 2, 5, and 9. 2, 9 means that this is 1, 5, and this is a 2, 9 pair looking down. That's a 1, 5 pair, which works for those 1, 5s. Should have seen that earlier. Triple in this row is 1, 5, 6. So that's 1 or 6. This seems to be any of them, but the 7 is looking down, making that the 1, taking 1 out of there. The 1 looks up, taking 1 out of there. So this is a 5 or a 6 for the column, and there's a 5 in the box. So we get 6, 5, which means 1, which looks back making 6, but the 1 makes that the 5 and that the 6. And 5 looks across, making that the 4 and that the 5. I'm definitely now in the part of the puzzle where it's like I'm just missing stuff and I need to figure out what I'm missing. This pair is 1 and 7, and the 1 is looking down, making that the 7 and that the 1. This is 3 and 4, and the 4 makes that the 3 and that the 4. The 7 looks down, making that the 2 and that the 7. This column is missing. It's 9, making that the 2, looking across, making that the 9 and that the 2. This row and or box and or column is missing its 3 in the corner. The 1 is looking up, making that the 5 and that the 1. So let's look down here. The 1 is looking down, saying that's not the 1, placing this 1, taking the pencil mark place of a 3, taking the pencil mark place of an 8, leaving a 5 not placed in the box. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 5 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 5. The 6 looks up, making that the 3 and that the 6. And in this box, I haven't put the 3 or the 4, and I'll use the 4 to make that the 3 and that the 4. And that is the solution to Quickset by Riffclown. It's had 5 solves in 1.3 days, which I'm assuming are all the testers. That is really cool. That's a very nice little puzzle. I loved the way that these interacted with each other. Again, puzzles don't need to be brutally hard to showcase really nice logic. And I've been chatting to a few people recently, including quite a few setters who've left the hobby, and they're no longer posting to Logic Masters Germany and everything. And quite a few of them have basically said they were sick to death of puzzles being just too long, just too much of a time commitment. So I'm also becoming much more of a fan of puzzles where it's got 1 or 2 really nice deductions that you can do in sort of 20 to 30 minutes, rather than puzzles where you're just struggling for hours to find something. Showcase, rather than put 20 tricks in one puzzle, put 1 trick in 20 puzzles. People will enjoy it more, I think. Look at the number of names that you used to see in the hobby all the time a year ago and are just not around anymore. It's just the way it's going. And talking to a lot of them, people are just burning out. Burnout is a real thing. Think of all the different hobbies you've had and stuff where it's just become too much of a chore. This is happening. It happens to me. And honestly, this is why I started playing with Sudoku Tudes. I wanted to play with things that were shorter and, sort of I was enjoying more. I do need to mess around with the Sudoku Tudes and start playing with multiple constraints in the grids. But yeah, good fun stuff. This is a great puzzle, Riffclown. Loved it. Thanks everyone for watching. I really do hope you're enjoying the puzzles that I'm bringing. I am trying to mostly bring puzzles that are sort of around that 20 to 40 minute range, and I hope they're working for people. Thanks everyone. And as always, good luck with your solving.